So let's look at this, what we're having now. Let me just turn off this thing. So ES yesterday sold off after hitting the balance targets. I said we could get some inventory correction, and then if we accepted inside the previous day range, we could go to the point of control and do the whole travel of to balance to previous value area low, which we did, and then we kept selling off. We bounced a little bit, but then we kept selling. We broke below value from the day before. At the beginning we kept going back and forth a little bit, but NQ was weaker anyway, so we ended up breaking down, losing the 5300 level that I mentioned, and then going all the way back down to fill the gap at 74, and we looked below 3 ticks, consolidated here, accumulated, and now we're moving back up. Inventory is 100% short today. I mean, sorry, 100% long, right? Because we never retested the settlement from yesterday. And now we're testing this weekly pivot, which usually in my experience this is very it's choppy in this area, right? Some traders want to go long above, some traders want to go low below, stops get run. So until we don't clear this area 5306, I'm gonna be waiting and probably not trade ES unless we either get below this distribution and get below the point of control, maybe attempt to come lower and test this untested point of control at 69. This is the CPI, the scene of the crime for the last CPI report on May 15, which is at 71. So there's some magnets here. There's some single prints here. We have a weekly high, and then if we look here, why the hell this thing stops working all of a sudden? Anyway, we have this magnet here, 52.45. So if we break below that weekly high at 64, we have the 21 EMA, but we could look below, tag this 45, and then bounce. But you know, if we get down here, I think that this is gonna attract more sellers, and we could tag this monthly VWAP at 52.38, which also coincides with the 20 daily moving average, and there's a low volume node. So this could be a place where I will be looking for longs for a bounce. And then if we stay above, if we get back above 5306, then we could look for long setups to retest yesterday's halfback, which is at 5316. Usually when you have a big day like this with a big range, halfback is a place where traders are gonna be engaging, right? Whether it is if we are able to get above it and hold, then you know, we can look for long setups into the 330 area, 25. There's a high volume node, but if this holds, then we could be chopping for the rest of the session around here. Or the other scenario is that we immediately go up, bounce here, and then come down. But these are the levels that I'm interested in looking at. NQ looks a little more, it has two big volume nodes, the one at 750 and one at 690, which both are going to be acting as magnets, right? So if we get, we just saw that we moved above it and then we came back to it. If we get below 710, then this one becomes a magnet. But we're in this range. So we're in the middle. This is chop, right? So unless we get back above 1880, then we could see a retest of this distribution up here. And then below, this is a support level I marked here at 18,600. But if we get below it, I'll be looking for a retest of this area where the weekly pivot is and the 18,500 high volume node. Okay, crude oil. Crude oil keeps downtrending. It's slowly shifting value lower. This moving averages are moving lower too, obviously. And we have this 3 days, 3 lows that are still untested. So I'm gonna be looking for a move below them and then see if we can catch a bid and move back into value. It could also be that they just leave it there because everybody's anticipating that and they all, they trade ahead of it. But I would like to see a move below these lows and then look for a bounce. Gold still one time framing down. I'm gonna expand this. No, you can't see my screen. Hold on 1 second. Still one time firming down, and I mentioned this level at 23, which is this point of control, the 20-day point of control. It looks like it wants to get there. This whole range is the range that we've been trading on for most of the second half of April. Actually, no. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Yeah, most of April and the beginning of May. So we broke above it, now rejected this higher prices, and now we're coming back. So price always likes to look for the high volume area. So this is a magnet, and this is a typical look above and fail, right? Like it broke above it, spent a little bit of time, and then failed to hold its prices. So now we come back to the low side of the range, right? If you look for a setup like this, it happens all the time in big time frames, longer time frames, and smaller time frames. So this is something that everybody should keep an eye on and learn how to read it. Okay, I think that's about it. Today we just had US core durable goods report, and we have Michigan sentiment final at 10, which it's usually a market mover, so keep an eye on that. And then some oil, total rig count at 1 p.m. And then Monday we have a holiday, US holiday, so don't show up on Monday because I won't be here. And we have a short week next week with PCE data and which is a number that everybody's going to be looking at. What time frames are your volume profiles penciled? So what I usually do, I usually have, of course, the session profiles, right? The RTH separated from the overnights, and then on the right side I have the 20-day volume profile. But the thing is, for example, if we get below it, right, and I don't have anything, what I do is I turn on the 90 days, right? So because if I usually have it hidden because it's a little messy visually, and but you see I turn it on to see where the previous high volume and low volume areas were, and then if that's not enough, I have it year one, 365. Actually 365 technically it's not a year, but because we don't have 365 trading sessions, but it's for the year. So you see I turn it on and off if I need them. For oil, you can see that I have that longer time frame turned on because we're right at the edge. Same with gold, I have it on, but I usually turn them on and off. So 20, 90 and 365.